Hello, Isadora here. Welcome to the start of a weekend reading vlog. This weekend I'm going to be reading a Discworld book that I've already started. It is called Reaper Man, about 80% through. If you know anything about Discworld, it's pretty crazy world. It's a flat disc, hence the name, and it exists on top of 4 elephants, which exist on top of a cosmic turtle. So if that gives you any idea of how crazy this world is. In Reaper Man, it is the second book in the Death series. So not to give any spoilers, but basically the concept of this book is that Death gets fired, and a lot of things happen because of that. So it's really fun, having a lot of good times, and I'm hoping I can probably finish that today. Something I am working on that I've just not been taking too quickly is a book called God and the Evolving Universe. It's one of my mom's books, and since she passed in December, I've made it a goal of mine to read through some of the books of hers that I've kept. She's always tried to get me to read these spiritual type books, and I've always kind of didn't do it, so challenging myself to dip into her world a little bit and see how I like them. So I just read a couple pages a day on this one, no rush. So far I've just been getting the history of the growth of humanity and how they've developed spiritually, intellectually. So far that's about 60 pages in, and it's still just background information. But it's supposed to go through, here I'll read the blurb. So in a world still racked by violence and conflict, James Redfield and Michael Murphy, leading co-founders of today's spiritual boom, present a message of hope and vision for our future. It is no accident, they argue, that the 20th and early 21st centuries have witnessed a revolution in new human capabilities, or capacities. Daily, we hear and read about supernormal athletic feats, clairvoyant perception, lives transformed by meditative practices, healing through prayer, and we experience these things ourselves. So, maybe not a book for everybody, but it's kind of fun. I'm getting the history, at least. I'm enjoying that part. So, other than reading those books, we'll be celebrating one of my sister's birthdays this weekend. Hopefully I'll get to vlog some of that. Maybe go to an amusement park if she wants to. So, we'll see. But for now, we're just going to get to reading a little bit and see where it goes. Right now I'm here in our schoolie bus that we are renovating just to get some privacy. I was correct in saying that I would finish Reaper Man today. It was pretty quick, a little bit longer than I thought, but not too bad. A couple hours, got it out, and it was pretty good. It was actually pretty heartfelt at the end, which I didn't really expect, so that part was cool. I think Death is my favorite character in the series so far. There's a few others that are pretty cool, but I think I am not alone in saying that it's my favorite character. So, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to read a little bit of the book I mentioned previously, just to see how far I can get before I get sleepy eye, because it is, nonfiction kind of, so harder for me to read. But if I get bored, I'm going to start another Discworld book called Moving Pictures. It's actually book 10 in the series, but it's a different sub-series, so I kind of read things out of order a little bit. The sub-series is called Industrial Revolution, and it is the first one in that series. So it's kind of a play on Hollywood, so, but it looks like it's spelled Holywood here. It's in 2 words, so it's going to be making fun of Hollywood a bit here. I'll read you the book description here. So, Holywood is a different sort of place. People act differently here. Everywhere else, the most important things are gods or money or cattle. Here, the most important things to be important. So that's kind of funny. And they supposedly create the moving picture through alchemy or magic in some sorts. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. It looks like it's going to be really funny. So I'll be reading that as soon as I get bored with this other book. And just to, something I didn't mention earlier, but the reason that I am reading the Discworld books is because I'm in a book server on Discord, that has a huge buddy read of these books. So we're reading them in publication order, but I got behind, so I'm a little out of order. So I'm catching up. They were reading Reaper Man this month, so I just got to read Moving Pictures next, and then I got one more called Pyramids that I got to read, and then I'll be all caught up. But I can leave a link to the book server if anyone wants to join it. It's not just for Discworld. It's pretty much anything. For instance, the book that they picked for this month is called The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. So you can tell that that's obviously not a Discworld book. It's pretty humorous though. I've listened to a couple hours of it so far. So I'm chugging along, but it's not my favorite, but it's kind of funny so far. But yeah, they choose a book every month. Sometimes it's themed like fantasy or Black History Month, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll leave a link in case you want to join, but I'm going to get to reading. Hey, I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek in case you wanted to see something of our bus that looks pretty nice right now. This is going to be our toilet room, and we've set our sink next to our beautiful countertop with the live edge. It's being flattened right now, but it's really pretty seeing it next to what it'll look like with the sink. This is going to be our mirror. We're going to repaint the frame, but we got the lights there. The mirror's going to hang right above there. Our toilet, we have a composting toilet that we purchased, is going to go right over here. So we're still working on getting all the shiplap up, but gotta buy some more. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. This is my favorite part so far. Yeah, there's definitely more, but it's a mess right now. So I'll show some more of that stuff later. Our swing always falls down. I need to figure that out. I need to take it down every time I'm not using it. There's our bus. Here's my swing I'm going to try to read in. So yeah. Hello. Next day, Thursday. And I didn't read very much more yesterday. Kind of got busy, but right now I'm going to clean my room because it needs it and listen to this audiobook. I am on chapter 9 so far, so whatever that means. So I'm going to do that and check back in. Just to give you a little before, so I can show off if I do a good job. Laundry. Mess. And mess. Plus, I got too many things hanging up. So, look at our beautiful plants. So, we try to have as many plants as possible. Try to brighten it up. Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, come on. It's not gonna focus there. Whatever. There you go. Alright, we got some progress. Beautiful folding. I love this thing. Folder helper. So, bed's made. It's starting to be less gross. Good morning. It is Friday now. Sorry I didn't record very much yesterday, but I didn't actually read much after cleaning my room. So I read a little bit of Moving Pictures, but not too far. About 30 pages. I guess that's fine. But it's pretty interesting. It's kind of funny. So I figured out a little bit more about like the basis. So basically the essence of Hollywood escapes its imprisonment, and now it is influencing the alchemists who normally fail at everything they do. But now they are discovering how to turn their practice into moving pictures. So, and they have no idea how they came up with these ideas. They just like kind of plop in, and it's because of the, I don't want to say ghost exactly, but it's basically like the ghost of Hollywood that is influencing them. So it's pretty funny. But you get the feeling that Hollywood is kind of evil. So yeah, I'm still in the very beginning, but it's been fun. In this book, though, I did read more last night before bed. I got past the first section, which was the, brief overview of, like, human awakening and whatnot. So the next section is called... The next chapter is called Our Expanding Perception. Looks like it's going to start talking about, like, clairvoyancy, out-of-body experiences, that kind of stuff. So, interested to see if I like it, at least. The history bit, I mean, it was a good overview, but I definitely am not going to, like, remember everything, because it was so quick and, like, so many names. But, that's fine. If I like this book, they do have, like, a bibliography at the end. Maybe I'll find some more, like, detailed books that I can read. Just had my coffee. We fed our fish. I'll show you a little clip of that. And I'm going to read some more. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll talk to you in a minute. Breakfast time. Gobi's not out. Hello, just giving an update. I read another chapter of The Evolving Universe, and this one was pretty interesting. It talked about how athletes and other professions have been able to hone in on their visual skills or hearing skills, and so, like, this example is talking about, like, there's a golfer who sometimes he would get moments of clarity where he would feel like the hole is super large, where obviously it's not changing in size in reality, and how if he's in a certain mindset, it's a lot easier for him to aim, or like certain people have been able to develop their hearing to where they can hear things way quieter than other people would normally hear. I do believe that we can be more developed than we are. Like, you meditate and you can start hearing things you normally wouldn't hear, or you could maybe feel different parts of your body you normally don't feel if you're meditating closely and noticing things. And I do believe that can be developed, where you can gain control of certain parts of your body. There's ways that you can, I think it was called biofeedback in here, but like you can be hooked up to certain measuring devices so you can see what's happening as it happens, and you can like learn how to control your body based on like seeing results from these machines. And I have heard of that before, and I do believe what the evidence is that it does exist. It's pretty cool. I would like to, I guess, practice that kind of stuff just to see where it can go. It also talks about, I think I mentioned, there's a section called clairvoyant perception, and it's kind of talking about during like the World War, Soviet Union and the US were like studied being able to project consciousness, so they're hoping that they could see enemy locations of weapons and stuff like that. So I have heard of that too. Sorry, I got interrupted briefly, but looks like the next few chapters are going to be pretty short, so I'll probably read a few of those before I check back in. I'm not exactly sure what these are going to be about. The next one's called The Mystery of Movement, so I'm not sure. There's enhancing communication, ecstasy. So, I mean, they're a little bit vague in titles, so, and they're short. So I'm going to read several of those before I check back in, but hopefully it's enlightening at the very least. So, thanks. Hello, it's morning time, about 8:30. I'm going to leave to go have lunch with my sisters at probably 10, but I want to check in before then. I actually read quite a lot of this book last night. It got pretty easy to read since all the chapters were so short, and it was more interesting because it wasn't just like super long history recaps. But basically all of these little chapters talked about like super normal like feats of accomplishments, so like people in history that have traveled faster than than people thought they should have been able to, or new things that they shouldn't have known. There's like a section about like people who have had shared dreams, which is interesting. It's not like going, it's not really preaching, which I appreciate, because like I'm not really super religious, but it just basically tells you the things that have happened to like famous people or historical figures and stuff, that either there's witnesses or it's just their word. It has a mixture of both. But it does kind of remind me of this dream that I had last week. So my mom used to like take care of families. She was a caretaker in general, but one of her latest jobs had been taking care of this little girl for this family. And the dream was basically my mom was talking to me about this particular family, and she told me that they were looking for someone to clean their house. It was just pretty random. My mom kind of did that kind of stuff in life, like, oh, I know of this little job you could probably do. So it was very strange. I almost didn't message them because it was just kind of random, but I did text them and said, hey, I had this weird dream about you, haha, and just checked in on them. But it turned out that that very morning they had talked about, you know, needing help with cleaning their house, needing a housekeeper. So, and they told me they hadn't talked about it previously. So it was very weird, a weird coincidence. But, so these kinds of things do happen, even if you don't necessarily believe that they're like divine. But it just kind of gives merit to some of these ideas that I just read about. So, yeah. I actually finished the whole second section, and that was all the chapters were basically on something like, there's one about like loving God so much that they produce extra heat, and yeah, there's the love chapter, ecstasy, like being so excited about something, getting like bursts of inspiration that seem to come out of nowhere, the communication, like talking to people from far away through dreams or whatever. So they're all basically like that. The next section is called participating, so I'm going to guess that it's going to talk about how people have like developed these types of skills, like maybe certain types of meditations maybe. It might try to give step by step, I'm not sure. Whatever it is, I'm kind of interested. I only really have like 100 pages left because the rest of it is like the bibliography stuff. So, not too far from the end, honestly. And then I can mark this off my list. After I read a bunch of that, I was too tired to read anymore, so I listened to more of the 100-Year-Old Man. So it's still pretty fun. I don't really care about his life previously. I don't know. I think it's more interesting the present drama that's happening, but whatever. Like the main thing with this 100-Year-Old Man is that he is really good at blowing things up, so he like affects like all these different historical events. And they're kind of funny, but they're not like, I don't really care that much. But the things that are happening at the present time is actually pretty good. So basically, like, the premise is he escapes his home where he doesn't want to be. They don't let him drink and stuff like that. So he left on his 100th birthday, and just wants to explore. And he's getting on a train, and this random guy has to use the bathroom, but the bathroom is really small, and for some reason he thinks it's a good idea to tell this old man to watch his suitcase. So the old man would have watched it, but his train had just pulled up, so he ended up taking the suitcase, because why not? He's old and it could be fun. Well, it turns out the suitcase is full of money, and it's like a, you know, criminal, drug dealer, whatever it is that he stole from. So then they're just like running away from these powerful drug lords, basically. So it's funny. I wish they could just do more of that and less of the background, but I get it. It'd be probably pretty short if they didn't do the background. You know, him reflecting on his life. Past all of that, today, like I said, we're going to lunch and then probably hiking because it's going to be super warm. I can show you what I got wow, both of my sisters are younger. So my youngest sister is, you know, a teenager, so I got her this video game. But yeah, I heard good things about Room Factory 5, and she likes Animal Crossing and also like other, I don't know what you call this style where you like talk to anime characters, but like Danganronpa, like that kind of style. And then I'll go get the thing we got for my other sister real quick. Oh, okay. So we bought this hanging pot and put in a bunch of our spider babies for her. Since our mom passed, she has inherited a bunch of plants because, I mean, I could have taken them all, but I have a lot of plants too. So I didn't need to do that. So she inherited some plants, and now she's turning into a little plant mom. So she doesn't have a spider yet, so we had so many, might as well give it a good home. And it'll fit right in because her cats probably will try to eat it, even though it's bad for them, but this one has a couple nibbles. So it'll fit right in. But yeah, so past that, I'm not sure what else we're doing today. I'll try to record a little bit, but I'm not going to bring this big camera, so might bring the tiny baby camera. We have a Insta360 Go, or I could use my phone, doesn't matter. But I don't think, most of them are probably not comfortable about being around a camera, so I'll just do a couple shots without them in it probably, but we'll see. And then tomorrow we're probably doing yoga, and then I'm not sure if we're having brunch or not. I'm going to try to read too, but the main focus today is to be outside and get probably sunburned. So it's going to be fun. I guess I'll check in later.
That's right around the corner here. I think it was always the intention. It's just, you know, we're always off on someone many because it didn't have to be one of the things. First American edition. Bucks. Keep an eye out for that.
Wow. If you want to. Alrighty, good morning. It is now Sunday, so recorded a little bit, tiny bit of what we did yesterday. So we went to breakfast, then we went to a little hippie town, walked around a little, looked up some of the bookshops there, and we were going to go hiking, but then it got kind of late, so we cut that short. But we did end up visiting a new fish store. We were hoping to find some particular snails for our saltwater and some freshwater fish, but I did find one book that was weird, and I just had to give it a try. I picked it up mostly because of the cover. So look at, come on man, stop looking at me. So it's called Lilith. Look how creepy this cover is. It was on the horror section, so my boyfriend's sister and I recently were like talking about maybe trying out horror, because we don't normally read horror, but this one just seemed very weird. So it's about a girl named Lilith. The first part of the description is, Lilith is a powerfully drawn portrait of innocence corrupted by evil, an evil so brilliant, so beautiful, so imaginatively conceived that even its violence and amorality have a fantastic splendor of their own. So I haven't gotten, let's see, it seems like this girl, for whatever reason, is corrupted, and she like makes her own, almost like her own religion, and it even says here that it requires or demands an insidious and dreadful form of human sacrifice. So this is going to take place in an insane asylum, I'm pretty sure, because here it says the other character, the innocent character, is a shy young man who works at the mental institution where Lilith has been placed. At first, he is drawn to her out of professional interest in her case, but her charm, her aura, and self-possession and lucidity set her apart from the other patients and exert a disturbing and provocative appeal. So, I did start it just because I wasn't really feeling my other book at the time, and I mean, I just got this, so it seemed, I don't know, I wanted to get started on it. It so far is about the man's background. It's slightly boring so far, but I've only gotten like 40 pages in. I'm hoping once I get past his like build up to him working at the mental institution that it'll turn creepy from there. So we'll see. But I mean, I just couldn't help it. It's such a creepy cover, and like the fact that it's like falling apart, it has to be in this plastic, is just creepier. So yeah, I'm gonna read maybe more of that today, I don't know, but I do have yoga to go to, and then later on today we're going to my sister's for like birthday dinner. You know, they just like to celebrate the whole weekend. So we'll be doing that. If we play any fun games, maybe I'll record a bit of it. I don't know. But not sure how much more I can read just because Sundays are pretty busy. But I'll check in at least one more time to wrap up. And yeah, I'll see you then. Hello. A couple days later, just wanted to wrap up what I got to read over the weekend. Didn't record very much on Sunday just because it's so hectic, but oh well. I read more of Lilith. It didn't, I think the description is a little deceiving. It's not uninteresting, but it did take until like page 80 or something to even get to the insane asylum, which is the main focus of the description. So currently I'm at page 198, and we have since met Lilith a couple times, but it's still pretty slow. At least with her development. So, like I said, it's not uninteresting. It's just not what I expected. It's interesting because it's shows details of all these other patients that have schizophrenia and whatnot. So it's kind of interesting to see like the main character, Vincent, working with them. And I am enjoying that part. I still haven't gotten very much creepy vibes. There was like one scene with Lilith where she kind of okay, so there's another patient in this hospital that is like in love with Lilith, and she kind of like played with him a little bit in one scene, and if things had gone poorly he would have like died. So I mean, that was a big thing, but you're not 100% sure if she did it on purpose or if it was innocent, but it's probably not based on like the description. I'm hoping the last bit of the book will get a lot creepier, or at least more thoughtful. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think the description could definitely have been more honest, because like I said, it's not uninteresting, but if you had come expecting a horror book, so far it is not delivering. But oh well. Since some of my books were digital versus audiobook and stuff, I had to estimate page numbers, but I read about 70 pages in Reaper Man at the beginning, and in the God and Evolving Universe, I didn't read more than I said last time, but in total I read about 95 pages. Moving Pictures, I've gotten like 11% through, which is like 43 pages. The 100-Year-Old Man, I read like 4 chapters, or listened to 4 chapters, and that equates to about 52 pages. And then Lilith, 185 is what I read there, so total for this weekend was 445 pages, which is pretty good. I don't always read that fast, so I'll take that as a win. I'll probably be vlogging every weekend for a while just to get that going, but I will probably do some week vlogs as well if I have interesting things going on during the actual week. I don't know how to exit. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye for now.